Welcome back. Cosatu expelled NUMSA at its Central Executive Committee in the early hours of Saturday morning. What happens now? Will NUMSA fight to stay on in Cosatu? Will it start its own federation? Will it start its own political party? What does the labor and political landscape look like 20 years from now? My guest is the man at the center of these questions, NUMSA Secretary General Irvin Jim. Irvin Jim, welcome to the show. I'm sorry, but it sounds like they hate you, you hate them, but you're still fighting to stay on. Why?
Well, Justice, I think we should say we have been consistent, and maybe the expulsion of NUMSA should do a couple of things. First, it should be exposing the propaganda that has been launched by the South African Communist Party. You forget too quick. You forget that the Communist Party said there are those, meaning NUMSA, in particular NUMSA leadership, who want to weaken the federation, who want to take workers away from Cosatu. They said they would have to come through the red door. It is NUMSA leadership that is a problem. As we're going to our special congress, they wrote an open letter to call on our members to implode, to remove the current leadership, which I want to agree with you that we are really being hated, and we're not hated for anything because we have been consistent. Thabo Mbeki was removed in this country for championing 1996, what was called, given to us by the South African Communist Party, neoliberal policies, and with the ANC having removed him together with the alliance, those policies continued and they continue to plunge. I was listening to the previous discussion here that you guys took. Basically, the country has been downgraded twice, meaning that the country is headed on a wrong direction. All our sin is simply to say this neoliberal agenda has not worked. We need full implementation of the Freedom Charter. We don't need a state that is a stand-by, that is carrying a knobkiri. It must intervene in the economy, address issues of ownership and control of the economy, beneficiate, build new industries. That's what we are hating
Instead
about.
of pushing that intellectual line inside Cosatu, instead you went and started breaking the rules in Cosatu. You cannot deny that you started poaching members. You did it in the Eastern Cape in Ngqura, you're doing it at Eskom, you're doing it in very many places. You broke the laws of Cosatu. You cannot organize in another sector.
I think if we must look at ourselves, we are victim of success. We are one union that is growing, and we are not growing. I mean, people are not answering the question. Why are these workers who are moving from Cosatu unions massively in joining NUMSA? They camp in our local offices.
I'll give you an answer, because you are a big union, you've got money, you've got more organizers, and they go and start poaching other people.
I heard Baleni said yesterday we have become an American, we are an American union that buy other unions. I can tell you, we are a union that is bleeding, because we continue to lose jobs, because capital is retrenching, is doing everything else, but also capital has been restructuring. It is not true. I mean, I listened to Gwede this afternoon, and I was wondering, what was the purpose of the ANC press conference? They are arguing that, look, the principle of one union, one industry, one federation must apply. If not, there's no need for the federation. At some point, I was convinced that he's basically endorsing the NUMSA expulsion, but in a very complex dialectical.
You've said in the past that it's a deliberate act of the NCSAP, him in particular.
Yes.
So you're saying yes, actually he was endorsing that decision.
I think so. I don't understand what's the purpose of the press conference. Secondly, if he raises the issue of one industry, one union, one federation, why? We made a comprehensive presentation that exposes that all Cosatu affiliates have opened their scope, they are counter-organizing each other. On the 10th and 11th Congress, the Federation said the solution, those unions must be merged together.
Okay, so that doesn't look like there is any chance of reconciliation. It looks like a marriage that has irretrievably broken down, and therefore, what happens to you? What happens now?
Well, I think our immediate task is to deal with the shame that NUMSA received in that special CC, in that there are many flaws. We were told, we took them to court to say, listen, we want to know what must we defend ourselves against. We were given 5 issues. And you would laugh if you were to listen to those issues. We are dismissed for having pronounced that we will march to Cosatu because the president of Cosatu, which again something the ANC was distorting this afternoon, failed deliberately to convene the Special National Congress. The CEC constitutionally had nothing to do. If you are the president of Cosatu tomorrow, Justice, and 1/3 of Cosatu affiliates says you must convene a special conference, you got nothing to do, convene a special Congress. And we didn't march to Cosatu to demand that. That's one thing that we were expelled for. Secondly, we said we would hold dues back. Up to now, we're an affiliate, and we're not paying small money to Cosatu. Our membership is big, closer to 1 million. We're an affiliate in good standing. We're dismissed because we said we would hold dues, but we gave Cosatu those particular dues.
But you played into the hands of this campaign then?
Well, I think the campaign is a political one. NUMSA is not dismissed. Because I can walk, as I was walking you cut me. There's almost on all the 5 charges. Secondly, we're not dismissed for those charges. People told us there why they hate us, it's a matter that we must look at it legally. But I must say, we are dismissed for political reason because we will launch a united front in December to challenge the neoliberal agenda. Well, both the ANC, SACP, and those in Cosatu who support the status quo, they do not want an independent militant federation that will challenge the NDP. Because if you must have NDP, if you want to privatize roads and put etolls, you better kill Cosatu if you want to
Let
succeed.
me interrupt you there. I don't mean to, but I need to ask. So, one, there will be a new political movement that you're spearheading, that you begin consultations formally in December.
What will be surprised if people were reading Cosatu resolution, all what NUMSA is doing is basically implementing Cosatu resolution. Yes, we will launch a united front in December, which will champion struggles of the working class. Currently, across the length and breadth of the country,
do you
they are
foresee
leaderless.
that this front will grow into a political party that may challenge other parties, including the ANC, at the polls in 2016 or 2019?
Well, my understanding of the Local Government Act, there's absolutely no requirement that you must have a political party to stand in any particular election. But you know, Justice, I'm not the United Front. NUMSA will remain. NUMSA is not a political party. We are a catalyst for a United Front. The United Front, when it is launched, it will deal with those questions.
Given the depth of the animosity within Cosatu displayed at this meeting at the weekend, is a new federation formed around NUMSA with maybe some of the other trade unions that have been supporting you a possibility?
I think we must be very careful. 2.2 million workers can't be, and 350,000 can't be dismissed by 33 bureaucratic individuals in a boardroom like I've witnessed.
But there were representatives of other trade unions.
No, I'm just saying, if you were to cut it down and do calculation, it means one individual dismiss 10,600 and something workers, and you call this democracy. I think this is traverse of justice. We think that the immediate task is to fight tooth and nail to make sure that there is a special Congress where workers themselves must decide that they want to split this federation. We can't allow a Cosatu of Bahai, of Gomomo to be run by individuals. In fact, the people who started to say there's a rupture, Slovo Major, is sitting in parliament nicely. And of course, we were told formally in a meeting that there will be a rupture, they will split the federation. For what? In our view, to maintain the status quo, to allow the Cosatu to be a telephone of the current
Mavavi, the Secretary General of Cosatu, do today, if you were to advise him?
If I was ZV, I will not do many things. I will basically be asking myself that I have got a program of the 11th Congress of Workers which demanded Cosatu to take workers to the street, to fight for full implementation of the Freedom Charter, to challenge the Reserve Bank to continue to target inflation instead of targeting jobs, to deal with issues of ownership that ArcelorMittal can be selling to the country still at import parity pricing. Sasol can be selling polymer chemicals above global pricing when we can build a plastic industry. If I was Vavi, I will actually be joining the call that says, let's take this federation to the Special National Congress.
Irvin Jim, it's always a pleasure to have you in the studio. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Stay with us for the winner and loser of the week.